Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we're actually going to be talking about yield nodes. Now, this is something that I personally love. I've been in for a couple months now, and I know a lot of you guys are too lazy to look into it yourself. So we're going to just create this video and break down what yield nodes actually is. Now, I've been using yield nodes for a couple months, and I've known about it since about 2019, and I just never got into it until recently. Now, kind of my perspective of what yield nodes is it's something that you take your money and it lets your money work for you, right? And something that allows you to generate an extra 5 to 10% a month, right? From seeing my past monthly gains, and it's something great where it's uncomparable to what the banks are able to provide for you. As we know, the banks give us 0.01%, I don't know, something that small every single month, right? A year. So something like this kind of takes away, from keeping your money sitting in a bank account doing nothing to letting it actually work for you, right? Because I would rather see a 1% gain in something like this than a 0.0%, 0.01% gain in a bank, right? What yield nodes is it takes advantage of how crypto works. Okay, so a lot of you guys may be familiar of proof of mining, proof of work, right? Where you're able to mine cryptocurrency such as Ethereum and Bitcoin. Now, something like this, it doesn't actually mine, right? Now, this is what we call proof of staking, right? Where they use things like master nodes. The way this actually works is that as master nodes that operates the system, and to kind of break that down is like this, right? Well, let's just say Rob wants to send Bitcoin to Laura. Well, what's gonna happen is Rob has to scan Laura's address, it fills the amount and the fee, and then it sends. But what you don't actually see behind the scenes is the wallet signs the transaction using Rob's private key, and then it has to get validated in the blockchain, right? The transaction is propagated and validated by the network nodes, and then the miners come into place. It's time to mine. The miner who solves the proof of work, the nodes then verify the results. Laura sees the confirmation, and the money is there. What do miners do, right? Miners confirm transaction, they secure the blockchain, they participate in the fair distribution of new Bitcoins. You see, the thing about these coins, still some in circulation that needs to be mined, right? And so this is where you're able to participate in the fair distribution of new Bitcoin. What is nodes? Well, now, what nodes are is it validates the transaction, it keeps a historic record of the transaction, and it dictates and enforces the rules of the network, right? And the way yield nodes works is it generate and earn kind of like a bank account, having your money sit in there, right? If you let your money sit and stake your crypto, right? And you could see what it's done last month of April is about 8.3%. Average in the last 31 months is about 10%. Kind of break down the performance wise of this, right? You could see the performance that it's done from when it was under beta. You could see under beta it's done 12.5%, 12.8 in live operations back in May of 2020. As you could see, it's done 8.1, 10%, 12%. If we are talking about 2022 so far, it's done 8%, 8.3, 7, and 8.3. Now, the lowest year or the lowest moment it's ever done was actually around 2021, which was about 7.2%. Now, what is 7.2%? Well, if you had $1,000, you would have made about 72 euros, which is around 90, 100 Canadian if you guys are in Canada, right? Which is an amazing return of investment, because if you had $1,000 sitting in your bank account, you wouldn't make much. And so that is so amazing that in the past 2 years, the lowest gain was 7.2%. So the cool thing about this is that you can actually compound your money and let it keep growing. To kind of show more about the performance over the last 31 months, this is an example of what depositing 500 euros would have looked like. Deposited $500 into Yieldnodes back in 2019. We could see from 1 year, 2019 to 2020, your Yieldnodes would be at $1,600. If it was sitting in Bitcoin, 602. If it was sitting in Dow Jones, 530, 500, 553. If it was sitting in gold, 690. Now, from this day on, if your money was sitting in Yieldnodes, it would have grown from $500 to $9,900 in a span from 2019 to 2022. Comparing that to something like Bitcoin, your Bitcoin would have only gone up by 2,300. Dow Jones would have actually dropped to $590, and gold $627 if you just had your money sitting in there. Now think about your bank account, your savings. How much would that have really gone up? That's what I love to compare this stuff about. So breaking down the profit again, you're able to make 5 to 15%. As you guys seen, the lowest one was about 7%. It's paid out every month. And if yield drops below 5% for 3 consecutive months, they actually return your money, right? So this is why I'm saying this is an amazing investment for you guys to actually get into. There is almost no loss. This is one of the most safest thing here. So to kind of dive deep into the core team, right? Well, we have the CEO Steve H, the co-COO URS, CTO Igor, and the management assistant Dima. Now they're all docs. They all have their own LinkedIn that you can click here. You could actually see what they've done, what they've accomplished in their LinkedIn, so you can look into that. You could see what their roles are in here. And so I would highly suggest, at least this is where you dive in, do your own due diligence, is looking into the core team. Now one thing I do like is that they are docs. They're not hiding themselves, and they're there for you in the project. So breaking down now how depositing works, breaking down the program, it is a minimum deposit of 500 euros, maximum deposit of 250,000. The payout is every single month, so you're able to actually withdraw your profits or compound it back in every month. The thing is that you actually lock your contract in for 6 months, right? So the moment you deposit it, it locks in for 6 months, which is fine because the profit that it creates, you're able to withdraw or compound it back in. Now deposit and interest are paid in Euro, USD, or Bitcoin. They do accept Visa, MasterCard, Bitcoin, Bankwire. You know me, if you have a Bitcoin wallet, that's what I personally use, right? Something like ShakePay if you guys are from Canada, and I'm gonna drop a link below for you guys to actually register for this. So to kind of break down the network of Yieldnodes, right? These are some of the cryptos, some of the exchanges that they are partnered with, that their network consists of. So something like Sapphire, buy stuff utilizing the crypto itself, right? So if I wanted to buy this $10 Euro Apple, I could pay with SAP, right? So it's something amazing. Just even their proven network and partnerships. So to give a little breakdown of the inside of Yieldnodes, you could see right here the amount you've deposited, the actual total return of investment, the weekly estimated profit, so you can see right here. Overall for the month of May, we've gained about 1.3%, 1.2%, 1.2%, and of course another week coming on. Last month again, April, 8.3% is what it did. So far, it's generating more than my money sitting in a savings account. Now, the way withdrawals work is that you have to request a withdrawal every 15th of the month in order for it to be processed at the 8th of the next month, right? So you want to withdraw by the 15th to be able to get it. So if I wanted to withdraw for the month of June, I would have to had requested that in May. And if you wanted to compound your account, that is the most amazing part about this, is that you could actually compound. It would automatically compound it for you. And so for conclusion of yield nodes, I think it is amazing. It's profitable. The risk is not as high as a lot of people think it is. I think it's pretty safe for what I've shown so far. Now, maybe it's for you, maybe it's not for you. Make sure you guys do more of your own due diligence and your research, but I think it is by far one of the best ways to create passive income in a more safe way, instead of trading your money, buying and selling. And so with that being said, guys, if you want to know more on how to deposit money through there, I'm going to create a video, or there's going to be a video right here that's going to show you guys how to deposit using something like ShakePay. And so I'll see you guys then.